Hey, Marianne.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Positive. Thank God I got a new assistant starting Monday. Because we're really stressed out right now, Millie and I. We had 8 closings last week. So, and they just, we were just moving straight ahead and we had to wing it, but now we're back on track. So we're happy with that.
That's awesome. Congrats. You're too blessed to be stressed, Marianne.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Good work. What else? What else is good going on in your world?
I want to thank Chris Thomas for taking time to help me with a rental. And he just told me all of the things I should and should not put in the listing. So I really appreciate him.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks, Chris. I'm not sure if he's on the call.
Well, he needs to get here. He needed to be here to get his bucket filled. So missed out.
If I see him, I'll tell him that it was filled. Thanks. What else? Other good things.
I'll just fill Vicki Yates' bucket. He was able to teach Ignite for us today and did a phenomenal job. We appreciate everything that she does for us.
All right.
You're welcome. It was great. Had a great bunch of people. Loved it. I love teaching it.
Thanks, Vicki. I'll fill a bucket. We had a really great roundtable discussion on last Thursday. Feels like a long time ago now. And we brought some agents from also outside of our brokerage. And we talked about kind of, coming in from 2020 and what we're doing to plan for 2021. And there was all kinds of energy and hope and learning moments. And people also just kind of willing to be transparent and talk about things that aren't working, what they didn't like. And it was a really valuable time. And I really want to thank Marsha Duncan and Lisa Warfield and Melanie Jones, because they were representatives on from KWLE, and they did amazing, as I knew that they would. They're all such powerful, wonderful women and with wonderful good things to say. So I'm confident that they grew other people in that hour. So thank you, ladies, very much. All right. We have an amazing guest today. Amy, is our guest with us?
I believe so. Scott, are you out there?
Hey, yeah, I sure am.
Awesome.
In the flesh. Amy, I'm going to let you do an introduction to our very special guest today.
All right, wonderful. So I'm super excited to have Scott LeRoy from Scott LeRoy Marketing here with us. I know that you have heard his name many, many times, as I always promote his education, his videos, his tech support. I'm just so thrilled to introduce him to you. He is a savior for me because, as you know, I onboard and do orientation for our newer agents, and they do a phenomenal job at being our leverage for connecting people and getting them plugged into our tech systems. His company also provides amazing tech support for us. So when we run across issues, we're able to easily email them or reach out to them, and I've heard great feedback about how very responsive they are, which is getting back within just a couple minutes and really helping us out. So the videos that they have, the live webinars at 1 every day, and then all of those uploaded to their YouTube channel, are just so easy to follow. They're direct, they're helpful, and they're very relevant and up to date. So Scott, I just appreciate you so much. And we're very grateful that you took time to be with us today.
Yeah.
So welcome to Keller Williams Louisville East.
That's it. Anything, I always tell people I love like hopping into team meetings and whatnot. It gets me away from answering emails too. So I'm all for it. So, well, perfect. Well, thank you for having me on today. And much like Amy was saying, so we're basically here to help out with all of your KW technology. Really, our end goal is to make everything that much more streamlined for you. So much like she was talking about, there are a couple items that we provide for every agent in the office. And one of the biggest ones is obviously that onboarding setup portion. So if you may have, obviously been onboarded by us, fantastic. Or what I always kind of say, especially now more than ever, is that onboarding really isn't just for new agents anymore, because so much is consistently changing that, it's always nice just to see, you know, as of today, so as of November 18th, I can't believe it's already November 18th, but as of November 18th, do I have all the newest tools up and running? Is everything operational on there? So I'll put it inside our chat section on here. So we do have one purely just for command as well, in case you want to spot check everything possible on your back end to have all the newest items on command up and running. Because we usually kind of go back through, and obviously we help all the new agents coming on. But even if you've been at the brokerage for, you know, 6 months, a year, 2+ years, 5+ years, whatever it may be, it's always nice just to double check that you have everything completely up and running to the fullest of capability on there. So we'll basically go through your back end and kind of treat you like you just started today and just make sure that everything is good to go. So beyond kind of getting everything up and running, then we definitely have all those training classes. So much like Amy was saying, every Monday through Friday, we have live training classes. Let me make sure I put in the name right on here. So they're accessible from 1 to approximately 2 p.m. It's usually 2 p.m. asterisk mark. It basically depends on, you know, how much we may be covering, how interactive everyone is. We always shoot to have it kind of completed in an hour on there. And these classes will cover pretty much anything and everything. We had a class yesterday on the KDB Command platform where everything is located, how you can actually find everything. Geez, in this case, we also have had classes previously on smart plans, on database management, on marketing, on website. We have an IDX site class. I did a class on Monday purely about Facebook ads and some of the best practices to get them up and running and how to utilize them. So these are live in case you want to come on there and interact with us, but they're also recorded too. So you can access them 24/7 at slmtraining.com as well. So if you're not able to make it to the live class or you have to leave early, it's no worries at all. All right, you're able to come in and out at any time that you want to, and then you can come back and rewatch it anytime as well. So that way you can pause, rewind, fast forward, whatever you prefer on there too. So all those classes are accessible every weekday, Monday through Friday. Next week's a little bit different, obviously, so it'll be Monday through Tuesday next week. But outside of that, typically every Monday through Friday, there are classes available for you. And then beyond that, we also have support for you guys as well too. So if you ever have any issues, questions, or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. We are here to help out as much as possible. Really think of us as an extra staff member in the office to help out with all of your technology. So I put our email and our phone support on there too for our troubleshooting line. So if you ever have any issues, questions, or concerns, whether it's something as simple as, you know, I can't sign in, I need help with my IDX site, adding this page, this isn't sending out properly on the smart plan, I need help with the DocuSign backend, we can help with all those items to make your life that much simpler on there. And then of course our phone support, that's from every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time to mimic KWRI's 9 to 5, just to keep it as, or 9 to 5 Central time to keep it as simple as possible. And then our email support it's kind of a lie. We say that it's from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. I always say it's whenever the first person gets on and when the last person leaves and anywhere in between. Yesterday I was on at 7:30 a.m. and I left at 11:30 p.m. And there were people that were on before me and people that were on after me. So if you reach out outside of that, if you notice that something's been, you know, completed inside your account that you may have requested, there's a good chance we're working on that as well. So don't be too shocked if something happens around 11 or 12 at night. So we do have complete services on there for you too. And then the best part that I always like to highlight is we actually have free support for you guys too. So outside of just troubleshooting everything and helping to make sure that all of your tools are up and running and operational, we can actually help to go through and, you know, do some stuff for you guys that typically an admin or a marketing person would do. So if you need help importing your database, if you need help starting those smart plans, if you need help setting up your IDX site or sprucing it up even further, if you have a new domain that you want pointed over to the site, geez, if you have a new headshot, a new email, a new bio, a new phone number, new social media info, we can update everything possible for you. Because I know there's definitely a good amount of locations. We want to make it as simple as possible for you to have all that updated. So all those are completely free to utilize too. And then the final big item I always like to point out is we do have, I always like to call them some cheesy templates. So we do have some easy, cheesy templates for you guys to utilize. They're all through Google Slides. So it's just extra items that you can use in addition to what's accessible on designs. And as long as you have a KDB.com email or a Gmail account, you'll have access to everything on there. And I always joke around, we have about 1,000 designs, and I could probably delete every design except for email signatures, and I don't know if anyone would notice. So we do have email signatures on there too. That's usually the big button item people reach out about. All right, perfect. So let me show you guys something real quick on here. All right, so this is the ScottLeRoyMarketing.com website. And what I always like to point out on here, the main place to really focus on is definitely that KW resources section on here. Once you sign in with your Market Center number, this will give you access to everything possible on here. All right, so once you sign in with 783, you'll have access to all these items. So this is where you can find those different questionnaires that are accessible for you. So if you want to just have command set up, or if you want to act as an existing agent to have everything completely spot checked, that's accessible on here. We have our link that'll go directly to our live webinars that happen every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Information on those training classes too, including all of our training calendars, so you can see the classes that are coming up, the exact days it'll occur on, and then even a little synopsis as to what we're actually going to be teaching in the class. And more importantly, if you aren't able to make it to the classes, no worries. We actually have all of our courses alphabetically organized, but then chronologically organized once you click on them. So it'll make it a little bit easier to find everything alphabetically on here, but once you click on it, it'll be the most recent course. And we always put our class dates in the title as well too, just so that way if you're looking for the most recent version, it'll be right up there inside the title, so you can see, like yesterday, if you want to find the KW Command Overview class, it'll say KW Command Overview -11/17. So we want to make sure you know exactly where to access it. And then beyond that, we have all of our support that's accessible for you guys as well too. And then of course, all those templates on here too under our digital marketing templates. And feel free at the bottom of every page, we have all of our contact info on here. So please feel free to reach out if you have any issues, questions, or concerns on any of the KW technology. All right, whether it's the prior KW technology, so even if you're still utilizing Placer and Dotloop, we can help out with that. Or if you have obviously questions on DocuSign, on Command, on Smart Plans, on anything on there, we can help out with everything. All right. And then of course, feel free to take advantage of all of our free support on here. I always like to highlight this because this is the one thing that a lot of people are, that they don't know as much about. They're usually happy about it whenever I show it. So I definitely want to make sure this is known on here. So these are additional items that anyone, whether you're a brand new agent, existing agent, anyone possible can utilize. So once again, if you just need your command set up, if you just need help, importing that database, if you're trying to make the transition from eEdge over to command, we can help out with a transition for you. And all these are just clickable buttons that'll have a quick form to fill out so we can get all the information we'll need from you to expedite that immediately. So not only do we have command only services, then we have command and my KW services too, whether it's help completing your profile. If you're branching off from a team and you're going to be working on your own, how can we update everything to rebrand it for yourself as a single agent? We can create QR codes for you. We can, like we're saying before, update your bio, email, headshot, phone number. If you're creating a team, we can help to update everything and rebrand that for you too. So we have a bunch of different items that we can actually just do on your behalf at the end of the day. And then even KW email services too, just purely around your Gmail account. And then of course, even services just around your IDX site. So outside of just getting kind of the basic setup, if you need help adding in testimonials, if you want a new download app page, if you need help forwarding that domain over, or featuring your listings, or setting up Google Analytics, all that is completely accessible for you at any time on here. So please feel free to reach out. I mean, that is what we're here for, so we can help out immediately on there. Yep. And I saw a couple questions came in here. Oh, Amy, you already answered one of them. Yep, completely complimentary. Everything's all free on there. Yeah. And then on the question for the teams versus individual feature, that may have been on the support side. So if you're branching off from a team, we can actually help to completely go through and make sure that the team is removed. So that way you'll be set up as an individual agent, or completely not counterclockwise on the other end, I guess vice versa, whatever I'm trying to say. If you're creating a team, we can actually make sure that everything is set up properly for you and your team members to have all the proper branding on there, all the new updates. We can kind of help out in both avenues on there. But the best part is we're constantly making updates, constantly taking advice from, and ideas from what the agents would like. So if you see something on there, you're like, man, I wish they did X, feel free to reach out to us, because we're always looking for new items to add on to help out for free at any time.
Scott, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Honestly, this sounds too good to be true. I know I'm not alone in that sentiment right now. And, the awesome thing about the fact that Keller Williams is also, we're a technology company. The other side of that is that can be really overwhelming for some people, whether you've been in the business for a long time or you're new to the business and you don't even know where to start or where to go. But I'm telling you all from experience that Scott LeRoy Marketing, or, I'm from Kentucky, so it's Scott LeRoy Marketing. I'm sure that's not correct, right? Um, what you offer truly is digestible and it's doable. And if you get stuck, because you probably will, when you reach out, honest to goodness, their response is reliable and it's fast. You're not going to be putting in a ticket and following up 3 times. That's not what this is about. So I can vouch for that. So, if I'm being honest, if you're in a situation, you're saying, I don't know what to do, I don't know where to go, I'm too overwhelmed, just get started. Because once you start chugging along, you're going to see that this is achievable. This is highly achievable, a tremendous value, and it will change your business. No question. Thank you so much. Who has questions specifically for Scott?
Hey, Scott, this is Andrea. I have a quick question. So I am doing a free pie Thanksgiving drive-by. Is
Oh,
there an easy way for my admin to do a map, maybe based on zip code or area or something like that, to where we don't have to manually do all that?
gotcha. It cut out right when you were talking about the main part of it.
Okay.
No problem. So are you looking, because I think it said for a map for zip code base, are you looking to, perfect. And for this, since it's going to be a drive-by, are you looking to kind of send it out to everyone like through a direct mail piece by any chance?
No, I was driving back to drop off free Thanksgiving pies.
Oh, cool.
I just kind of wanted to map out the best route. Yeah.
Yeah, makes it. I haven't. I can say this much. I haven't seen anything like that as far as mapping out the best route on command quite yet.
Okay.
But if you want to reach out, feel free to. I was about to say I may suggest MapQuest or Google Maps on that too. That may actually help to find the best route for it as well.
Okay.
I can easily attest as well to. No one's done it over here. So if you want to drop by a pie over here, I would use my heartbeat. So
I'm
I
gonna
see
fly
that
to
every year
Orlando
whenever.
to do that. Man.
Yeah, yeah, if you want to drive the X amount of miles to get to Orlando, I would
Okay.
easily, yeah. So I see it every year, and I think that's a phenomenal idea. And yep, what Eli's saying on there, I would definitely suggest Google Maps. That's the main
Yeah,
one.
that's what we were using. I just,
That's spot on. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that inside Command quite yet. But I know I love to track my whereabouts as well too. So that's the one I would definitely suggest.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I have been an agent for 2 weeks. So yeah, so I've obviously received a lot of emails from you all. There's like my whole box is full of emails from you all. And there's so many, I just don't even know which one. So if you were a new agent right now in this time, where would you go on your site? What's the very first thing that you would do with Scott LeRoy to get started?
That is
Other
a
than
great
fill out the original form.
Yeah, that is a great question. So it's so funny. The first thing that I always suggest, number one, and you already did it, which is perfect, which is unfortunately why you've been spammed so much by us. Number one is to fill out that questionnaire, and that's perfect because that'll get everything completely up and running. The second one that I always suggest, because we'll have kind of next steps on that setup email of like, here are top 7 things to kind of do in order to really start to utilize it. But the number one item I always suggest after that is coming to that Tuesday class that covers basically, now that you've been set up, what the heck is everything? Where is it located? Okay. What does it do, to give you kind of a quick overview? Because the way I always explain it is our Tuesday class is our overview class of everything possible on all the KDB technology and really all the different tools that are accessible on command. And the main reason I suggest starting with that is because then once you see everything, you can kind of map out, all right, well, as a new realtor, what do I want to focus on? So then you can actually see, all right, what's the next class I may want to go? Because I always say it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book at the end of the day, where you kind of choose which one you want to utilize. And then the third thing I always suggest is sending over your database, even if it's a lot of agents will say, well, I don't have a database or anything like that. I always say, well, more than likely you probably have a Gmail account, so we can get the contacts out of there. I can guarantee you have a phone, so we have a way to actually get contacts out of your phone too. So we can always start with basically your sphere of influence to get everything up and running. Because once you have the contacts in command, everything will start flowing so much simpler on there.
Okay, so one of the emails, how to get to the class on Tuesday, or how do we know where to go for that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So the main one, and it just happened yesterday. So I just put inside the chat. So it's slmwebinar.com.
Okay, thank you.
I rewatched the one that just actually came out yesterday. That's slmtraining.com. And hopefully nothing will play where it's going to be loud. We're going to find out. Okay, awesome. I'll put this one over because this is a direct link actually as well too for that class that was just uploaded last night. So that's fresh off the press, if that's still a phrase. So that's available now.
Oops. Yeah.
So Scott, I have a question about the importing the contacts. I had this question come from an agent today. Are you able to import from our local board? Like my tech brain wants to say as long as we could export, but are there any licensing restrictions to that?
It's so funny. Your tech brain is exactly what I was going to specify. So as long as we have a CSV, a numbers, an Excel, or like a VCF file, we can work
different one
format and import everything.
I gotta finish getting my groceries.
I do always suggest, obviously, at the end of the day, making sure that anyone that's being imported is eligible to be imported on there. So I would definitely double check with the board just to be 100% safe. But as long as that's okay, we can easily get that added in. Because I will say, once you import everything, it usually just says, it'll pop up with a box saying that everything imported successfully. And most times when you import something through any platform, it'll typically say, like a checkbox, I acknowledge that these people that I'm adding to my database have approved for me to add them in, and they're people that I know have met, everything that sort. So that's the one thing I would double check on there. But if you are able to export, we can easily import too.
Okay. Great. And then would that also be the case with eEdge? And can you give us just a little insight of when eEdge is going off into the sunset?
Yes. So all signs point to December 31st. So technically January 1st. So you're going to be seeing very soon from us actually for the month of December, like an eEdge transition plan for anyone that's actually currently utilizing eEdge. So we've always had a piecemeal transition plan, basically, of, hey, we can help to move your eEdge contacts over. We can help to manipulate your eEdge website as much as possible on your command site. But now it's going to be all inclusive in one of, hey, if you are still utilizing eEdge, this will help to get everything up on there. And the one thing that I'm saying now, and it's so funny, last year when Playster transitioned and when Loop transitioned, specifically on Playster, it was always download your data, download all of your backend as much as possible, even if you are saying, oh, I already have it inside command, just to be safe. You never know. So that's definitely one of the biggest things on there is download all those CSV files. We can then get that added inside too. We can help to manipulate anything possible, but just making sure you have that saved is going to be one of the biggest items, because if it does officially go away on January 1st, I want to make sure that you guys are prepped and ready and everything's good to go. I always say whenever I hear that dates are happening, though, I always kind of think, oh, it might be delayed a little bit. But since this is from a different third-party one, it might be a hard set date of January 1st. Right.
Is that the same with Market Leader? We had a question in the chat about that.
Yep, it sure is. Yeah, so eEdge is a fun one. So the eEdge CRM and the website is through Market Leader directly. And then it was also technically at the time through KW and Loop. That was kind of the big three on there. So the eEdge CRM they're talking about is definitely the Market Leader one. And if you're paying for the Pro account, you won't be affected. But if you're using, the biggest way to see are you using the Pro account versus the eEdge account is, well, one, are you getting billed each month for it? But also at the same time, if you look at your domain, oh, sorry, I thought a question came there. Your domain at the very top in the back end, if it says .kwrealty.com, that's the free version of eEdge. So that's the one that'll be going away soon. So that's the easiest way to see, do I have the free one or do I have the paid version instead?
Perfect. Awesome. Anybody else while we've
Hi. Yes. Scott, you have one of the most pleasant voices I have ever heard. And for it to be 2020, we definitely need pleasant voices. So hit me offline because I want you to do my voicemail for my phones and stuff like that. That'd be super cool.
Easily.
My real question was, where does your free services end and your paid services pick up? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, and I'll do this because you also have a pleasant voice. If you do mine, I will do yours, and that way it'll work out for both of us. Perfect. So yeah, so our free services. The good part is we try and keep everything as free as possible. We don't want to charge anything at all. The paid services really start if you're looking for actual digital marketing help, is what I always kind of say. So if you're looking for someone to maintain your presence online or maintain your social media packages, or not packages, sorry, your social media profiles, or actually, doing all of your database management where you're wanting us to scrub everything and create all the pieces to send out. So anything that's kind of digital marketing focused, that's when it'll kind of change into that. But what we always start with is, if you are looking to hire someone out, here's exactly what we'll do, or here's exactly what would be done on there, in case you want to actually kind of do it on your own and make it as simple as possible. But then if you are looking to just kind of outsource it, or if you're looking for leverage or additional time, then we do have kind of extra pricing options. I always say I'm the worst marketer of all time because we don't advertise any of that stuff. So it's if anyone finds it, they find it. Basically, we usually try to do everything for free as much as possible.
All right.
No,
Well, thank you so much. This was awesome, and we just really appreciate your time. We know that you're incredibly busy. When you are bored, you can do voice recordings in all your spare time. You can put those on the paid portion. We'll probably all pay for those. No, but honestly, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Of course, yeah. Well, if you'll need anything at all, just let me know at any time. That's what we're here for.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Have a great day today.
See you. Have a good day. Thanks.
Woohoo.
Wow, Amy, thank you. That was incredible to be able to speak with him. He's so great. I never even believed that he existed. I thought he was a man behind a curtain.
Well, and it's just one of those things. It's nice to put a face to this name, and I will continue putting all of his classes on our training calendar because I think they're so valuable. So just please jump in. It's not too late. I know a lot of people come and they kind of had their head down of, I haven't signed into command, and that's okay. But if you want to know more, just know that Lisa Warfield and I are there. Scott LeRoy is there with all of those training, and it's never too late. So
just lean in, guys. All right, let's talk about some birthdays. November 18th, which is today, Eric Jones. November 19th is Kim Kilcone. And listen, I have a secret. She's my aunt as of last Saturday. So also tell her best wishes and congratulations. She married my sweet uncle. We love her. Welcome to the family, Kim. On November 20th is Tommy Arnold's birthday. And November 21st is Trevor Pfister. Thank you. Yep. Michael Shute and Samantha Clark. So happy birthday if you're on here. Extra happy birthday if you see them. Give them an elbow bump. All right, we have some new faces, and we always love to welcome new agents coming over or new agents to the business. So Miss Layla Lombardo, fantastic name, by the way, is sponsored by Ann Dominic. Chris Thomas sponsored John Evans, and Erica Stanton sponsored Kenesha Thornton. So welcome Layla, John, and Kenesha.
All right, I believe Harry's on here. Hi, Harry.
Hi, guys. How's everybody?
Great, Harry. How are you?
Fantastic.
Good.
Great Thanksgiving, albeit maybe smaller than normal, I hope.
Yeah. All right, guys. Do you have any questions for the legal eagle here in the flesh?
I have a real quick question for you guys.
All right.
What's a misrepresentation?
You got an hour?
Yeah. No.
What's a misrepresentation? Not an intentional misrepresentation, because that's fraud. What's just a misrepresentation?
Maybe virtually staging a home to look completely different than it normally would look. Like, you added an addition to the house and that doesn't even exist.
That's a pretty good example. That's probably fraud, but that's definitely.
Yeah.
What about when you say walking distance to location X?
That could very well be a problem from other perspectives, because that could be discriminatory against people who are disabled and don't have the ability to walk. So yes, that's problematic as well. How about this for a definition? You said it and you were wrong. Easy as that. House has pillow windows. The fence row is approximately where the property line is. It has a new roof. All of those have the potential of being a misrepresentation. So I want to challenge you that when you want to say something, make sure that what you say is correct, because all of those are real world examples in our market where realtors got themselves in trouble. There are all of those. And I could go on, as Amy just said, for hours giving you examples. I just want you to pay attention to how did you get that information, and are you certain that it is accurate? If I tell you I got a new roof in April of 2020, then your response should be, the rules require me to have something in writing from the roofing company or the insurance company. Can you please get me that? And then I can advertise it. Because if you don't do that and you are wrong, there are substantial legal consequences. One of the big ones, house has geothermal. Well, there was no geothermal. The realtor that said that the house had geothermal lost a $10,000 commission because the geothermal cost $20,000 to install. So please just be really careful. Before you say something, make sure you are right. There's a realtor in town that got to replace about half of the windows in a house because they said that it had pillow windows and only half of them were pillow windows. So just be careful. That's all I got.
Harry. Hey, Harry.
Yes, sir.
What if the seller writes down inaccurate information on the seller's disclosure?
If somebody asks you a question and you say, please refer to the seller disclosure answer 12B. I don't really know what 12B is, but nonetheless, you're safe. But if you say, per the seller, the roof is 6 months old, what you get there is you get a co-defendant in the name of the seller. We don't want that. We're not looking for liability. We're looking to get away from the liability. If you
Co-defendant.
then you don't state it. It's as easy as that.
Refer to the seller.
Any other questions on that or the other? Well, Milton, I can't believe you don't want me on your voicemail.
Well,
I'll take you,
what?
Harry.
Your voicemail would say, refer to the actual owner of the, of the phone.
So Harry, can I ask a question?
Yes, please, Libby.
So in the event that we're working a transaction either pre-contract or once the contract is in place, and the buyer has specific questions about a material fact about the house, and we go back and we check with our seller, what is the best, I guess, in order to protect ourselves, what's the best way for us to convey that information forward?
If it is clear that it is coming from the seller to you, to them, just convey it that way. In other words, maybe you send an email to your seller and the seller responds and you forward the email. That way you're not the one. Now I would delete out the email address of the seller because we don't want those folks communicating to each other because we know the drama that exists with that.
Right. Okay.
Make it as clear as you can.
All right. So don't just like reformat in a text format, just like make sure it's coming directly from the seller in some capacity.
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Because
Thank
you
you.
said you've got liability for it. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Paging.
Well, thank you all so much for having me. I hope everybody has a blessed and happy Thanksgiving, albeit probably smaller than normal. Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys.
Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. We have such a packed meeting and I'm so excited about it. It's also going to be our awards Wednesday because we don't have a meeting next week due to the Thanksgiving holiday. So Here we go. So this is all from October 2020, of course. The expansion group with the highest closed volume is the Price Group. The group with the highest closed volume is Jimmy Welch. The group or team member with the highest closed volume is Katie Messenger. And that girl did that on a maternity leave. Hold the phone. That's Karen. That's fantastic. The highest closed volume team is List with Libby, and Libby is on the call. Congratulations. And Andrea is also here. She is the individual with the highest closed volume. Everybody hands up for these awesome agents. Good work. Awesome October. Let's talk about units. Who closed the most? Well, the Price Group closed the most as the expansion group. Brad Long closed the most in his group. The team with the most closed units was a tie. Marianne tied with the No Group. I think they're also both on this call, and I love seeing your faces. The individual with the most closed units is Miss Andrea Walker. Great job, everybody. Awesome, awesome. Hands up, hands up. All righty, so we're taking these contracts in October, and I'm telling you, there was a massive statistic that Keller Williams International put out about contracts taken in the month of October of 2020 over the month of October in 2019. And, you know, we all expected it to go down because, you know, didn't COVID disrupt everybody's life? No, not Keller Williams Louisville agents and Keller Williams agents. I think statistically, the national statistic is about 25% year over year growth in contracts taken, which is incredible. You guys are doing so amazing. Nothing's stopping you. So the group with the most sales contracts taken is the Wisdom Smith Group. The team with the most sales contracts taken is List with Libby. The individual with most sales contracts taken is Whitney Brown, who I saw pop on the call. Hey, Whitney. The group with the most sales contracts taken is the Rhonda Roberts team. And the team with the most sales contracts taken is the high school home team. And the individual with most sales contracts taken in October 2020 is Miss Patty Parrott. Great job, everybody. Good job. Wow. Denise, you hold the award for the largest residential sold units. And that has a lot of numbers. I'm going to have to say $1,139,900 contract. Way to go. What a fun closing that was, I'm sure. Congrats. The agents contributing most to KW Cares are Ben and Emily Price. Thank you for your huge hearts. Good work. All righty. First closings are to be celebrated. That is an awesome achievement. And so we want to stop and acknowledge that. Brooke Younger and Claire Bridges had their first closing with Keller Williams Louisville East in October 2020. Good job. And the first listing with KWLE, listings are king, right? If you've got listings, you got a billboard, you got a business, you can grow with your listings. They're so important, especially right now in a tight market. And Jenny McNichol scored her first listing in October. Good job, Jenny. All righty. So we were talking about a lot of this value in education, and you know, there's so much education and technology and things to learn at Keller Williams. You just lean in and start taking it one bite at a time. I think I'm saying that every single day of my life right now. It's just to take all these big, wonderful opportunities that we have and just chunk them down, focus on one a day or two a day, and just knock your dominoes down, but set them in your calendar, because if they're not in your calendar, they don't exist. That's exactly right. So get your phones out, take a picture of this or jot them in now. Today at 1 o'clock, it's Wednesday, back to basics with the 3 L's. We were just talking about those: leads, listings, and leverage. That is the triangle of our business and the ultimate basis of our model and how we do business at Keller Williams. And then at 4 o'clock today, how I built it, profit share with, I'm not going to say that right.
Harosishan, maybe?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I cannot stand to butcher people's names, but I sometimes do. Tomorrow at 1, find your leverage with command, and leverage it is, and go back up there. Leverage is one of those 3 L's, so it's worth your time. And then tomorrow at 4, Market Leader Pro and Command walkthrough, question and answer. These are interactive, which makes it more about webinars are great and recordings are great, but when we can interact, it is really, really great. On Friday at 1, we're going to communicate the most effectively as a luxury agent. And then at 4 on Friday, head into the weekend. But first, let's grab a market update with Jim Talbot. How you can sign on is there on the left side of your screen. Again, take a photo with your phone if you need to real quick. All right, let's go on.
All right, and then I just wanted to kind of explain where you can go to find all of that training. On the weekly calendar that I sent out to you, it's always at the top right, those classes at 1 and 4. You can go straight to kwconnect.com as well, and they have a new homepage. So you may have noticed when we went on lockdown, Pivot Shift Ahead was created to basically not let our situation stop us. So they had a Pivot Shift Ahead page, and now what they've done is combined that with kwconnect.com. So not only can you go there and find great resources, that's also now where you find the live stream, articles, just great hot topics that you can use for blog posts and anything else. You can also see those recorded videos there as well. So go on to kwconnect.com and you'll see all of the new, the shiny toys on that website now. All right. And then you got to hear from the master himself, Scott LeRoy, today. So I'll just quickly go over this. So today it's all about your mobile app, your consumer app. That's now your digital business card. Just make sure you've got that on your phone. You're going to see it, and that is intentional. Uh-oh, Jackie, mute. That is intentional for you to see it on a consumer side, but share that out with your folks. Everybody should be using your app to search properties. That's linked to the MLS. And I always offer the script to people that ask them, what are you using to search for homes? And if they are just kind of don't have an answer, they're probably using Zillow, and that's not the best way to search it. Make sure they know that yours is the most up-to-date and accurate. And then tomorrow, it's all about your database. So it's your data bank. So just like Scott said before, getting your contacts in is your first step. Everything else that Command does builds off of contacts. On Friday, it's going to be all about listing and landing pages. So being able to offer those special pages through your website. Monday, I know the hot topic right now for a lot of people, especially in our office, is teams and team functionality. So this is probably the 4th time they've taught this one. So make sure you're tapping into that. And then Tuesday is that Command overview. So if you're new to real estate or if you're new to Command, that's what you want to be on for sure. All right.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you for being such a tech ambassador for us. All right, let's talk about getting paid. I think we all like to get paid. I do. Our office, as we're moving into Command, what that also moves us into, well, DocuSign, which is how we're going to have the opportunity to run our paperwork and then run our paydays and run our tracking. And the awesome opportunity that this gives us is that this is a huge piece of our end-to-end business. Command is designed to literally be a one-stop shop for your entire real estate business. And that's the lead generation and everything that we've spent a lot of today's meeting talking about, but also getting it through the transaction, contract to closing, and then getting that payday when you're closing and you're turning in that closing check. So with that's going to take some necessary training. Okay. Our wonderful Lisa and our fabulous Rita are going to help us with that. And they're going to put on a few classes that you can tune into. And these will kind of be the same classes repeated. It's not a series. It's a mark your calendars, join one if you can. And we're going to get some more on the calendar as we go through the balance of 2020, because our goal is to get onto DocuSign. Dotloop is going away, whether or not we like it, it's going away. We need to be on DocuSign at the turn of the year. So kind of get your head leaning into that and be ready. But don't worry, because we're going to be here for you. We're going to teach you on Wednesday, November 18th, which is today. They're offering a class from 1 to 3 if you're able to tune in today, but they're also offering a class on Friday, November the 20th from 1 to 3. We'll keep you updated as to when more classes will be available so that you feel really good about it, really confident, and really prepared. Okay. Now, Also, speaking of money, if you have not done so, or you have a CPA that may or may not be working awesome for you, make plans to join this Zoom call here with Rick Fields, and that's November the 19th, which is tomorrow at 11. And we're going to be going over, basic questions for a CPA. A CPA understands, how to best run your, organize your finances, talking about perhaps getting you into an LLC, just making good financial decisions with the money that you're making, keeping it organized, and also, oh yeah, making tax season a whole lot more palatable for you, which sounds pretty good to me. So take a quick shot of this meeting ID and passcode if you need it, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.
And this is also on your intranet calendar. I just added that this will be Zoom. I understand that a lot of us, maybe cannot come in person or don't feel comfortable for whatever reason. And I spoke with Rick Fields about this, and we will have this on Zoom as well as in person. So that is now also on your intranet calendar. If you have any questions about that, just give me a call and I can help you out. All right.
All right. Yesterday, many of us spent absolutely all day, 8:45 to 4 o'clock or so, with the business planning clinic. Jean Rivers taught it. It was worth every moment. The business planning clinic, if you haven't been part of it, it will be offered again in the future, but it's a whole day to sit down and break out the budget model and the economic model and the organizational models on how you organize your business and create the goal so that you grow the business in the way you want to. And it has to be done on models. And we have models not to restrict you. We have models to give you freedom in your business, because these have been tried and true and they work. And once you start marching to the beat of the models that are proven, then you can add your creativity and make it your own. That's the beauty of entrepreneurship, with the guidance of Keller Williams behind you. So if you were there yesterday, it's time to assimilate all of your notes and put them together and put them on paper. We're going to do a workshop tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. It will be Zoom. And when you show up, be prepared to access the live spreadsheets that they provided as part of your ticket, because we're going to be interacting in those spreadsheets. I'll be sharing screens, and I also really want to use that as just a Q&A. We're going to make this valuable to the people who are showing up. So wherever you're having a gap in understanding or you need to ask questions, we'll also just use that hour for that time. I predict we may not get through everything we would like to in one single hour. We're running into Thanksgiving. We may be hosting maybe workshop part 2 when we get back from the Thanksgiving week, but more to come on that.
All right.
Alrighty.
Is Laura
Amy.
on still?
Laura,
are you here? I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I have the flyer that she has provided. Laura Webb has done a great job at partnering with the CE shop and giving us not just CE opportunities, but also agents coming into the business. So right now, and I believe she also sent this email out last week, but you can save 40%. So raise your hand if you still need to complete your CE. There's many of us, yes. I've started a course about 3 months ago, and I'm maybe 10% of the way through it. So if you have extra time during Thanksgiving week before everybody, does whatever they're going to do this week, make sure that you're knocking that out, because there's only 6 weeks left in the year. But the code for you to get in, and there's a special link if you notice at the bottom left there, KW Louisville East .theceshop.com, and then just put in the code support40, and you can use that from now until November 30th. So just make sure you get that knocked out. And then the other thing that I wanted to put on here for you is this time of year is open enrollment. And, maybe you already have a health insurance plan that you like, or maybe you're on with a spouse, or you just already are taken care of. If you're not, then Keller Williams provides health insurance options for you through Stride. And if you Google Stride Health Insurance 101, and I did that myself a couple of days ago, I found lots of great information. the quote that I received is probably 30% less than what I'm paying with Anthem on an individual plan as well. So this is out there for you through Keller Williams affiliates. And then I also put 2 of our affiliated business partners here who can also help you with your health insurance needs. You may remember that Era Whitty with Burn Insurance Group taught a class to us a couple of months ago about what they can offer for your health insurance. And then a few months back, we also had a lunch and learn with Jeff Schneider from Kemper. And I know there are people here in the Market Center who use them for their health insurance. And so I just encourage you to, if you're looking, or if you just are looking for a better rate and want to know what your options are, please reach out to them. And feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about any of those. All right.
Also, I only because I happen to speak with Era with Burn Insurance on pretty much a weekly basis. He has always made it abundantly clear to me that if anybody would like to speak with him and take a Zoom call to go through things, that he would do that. I know I can't speak to the others. I'm sure they may or may not as well. But my biggest challenge when I talk to insurance companies is, I get someone on the phone. I don't have a face to the voice. I feel like I'm walked through a lot of series of questions that I kind of have to get locked into the next advancement, and it doesn't feel great. So be able to talk and have something interactive in person. He's offered that many times. So feel free to take him up on that. I can connect you if you need to as well.
All right. We've got 2 more slides. So this was a reminder. We mentioned before that we will not have a team meeting next week. We just really hope that all of you are safe and that you enjoy this very different kind of holiday season that we are going through. But we're just so thankful and so grateful for all of you. And we have on December 2nd, when we do come back together, we have some exciting news that some of you may have heard a little bit of buzz about, that Alyssa is going to go into more detail for us. So I thought that it would be fun to put these 2 on here and give you a clue. Does anyone know what these 2 things have in common? Maybe this helps.
If you're lost.
Anyone at all? Has anyone seen Sing?
It's Sing. I heard somebody say Sing. What are they singing?
I got nothing.
Your way. My way.
Oh,
Yes. What would you like to say about it now, Alyssa? What can we entice them on?
So the great thing about Keller Williams is that we are always changing and evolving, because we are a company that is for the agent. And what that also means is that there are lots of different ways that agents want to be in business with Keller Williams. And Gary Keller recognized that. And he said, take the box, dump it out, and put everything back in a way that makes most sense for the agent. So Keller Williams, my way, is an opportunity of choice on how you want to do business with Keller Williams. If you haven't had the conversation with us just yet, don't worry, it's coming. We are going to open it up to a team level, Market Center level conversation on December next week, 2 weeks from today, when we come back from Thanksgiving. So be ready for that. Do tune in, because it will be valuable. It'll be a great opportunity to also have some questions answered and learn more.
All right.
All righty. Well, thank you all for joining. It was a great meeting. Have a great day. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
happy Thanksgiving.
Bye.